What is up, everybody? Karma Cashflow here. Welcome to the live stream. This is what, day 4 already that I am going live here every single day for the month of August. So, for those that don't know, I am doing a challenge called LIDA, and LIDA stands for Live Every Day in August. So, I will be going live 31 days, the entire month, every single day, including the weekends, for those that don't know. And yeah, I'm here to provide as much value as possible, answer any of the questions that you might have concerning whatever it is that we're talking about, or just anything in general, business, copywriting, funnels. Sorry, don't like that term. uh, pretty much anything tech related or, business related. I'm here to answer all of your questions. So, real quick, let me give a couple of shout outs to people that have made it in this morning. April Roga is in the house. How's it going, April? Thank you for being here. I see Peasant Uprising. Thanks for being here, my friend. And we have Vlada in the house. How's it going, Vlada? It is really nice to see you on the stream. You should come on to more streams. Seriously. And I know my son Josh is in the house. How's it going, Josh? And yeah, so everybody else, welcome to the stream. Today we are going to be talking about the 18 skills that I personally feel that all entrepreneurs need, especially those entrepreneurs that want to be online. All right. So, most of these will translate to offline skills as well. So, if you want to have a brick and mortar company, like we have a self defense school here in town, and that school requires most, if not all, of these skills. So it doesn't matter if you're offline or online. You're going to really need these type of skills in order to grow your business and grow yourself as a person so that you can become a better business person. So, and notice that word that I say, business person. All right. So I teach people how to build businesses primarily online. All right. And I always stress that word business because unfortunately, most entrepreneurs and people that I talk to that ask me questions and that are on my channel end up kind of on the hobbyist side versus the business side. All right. They want to do this for a little bit extra money, and it's more like a hobby than it is a business. I believe that if you want to be successful in anything that you do, you have to be in the mindset that this is a business that I am running. I have to be a business person. Otherwise, my business will not be successful, right? So the difference, in my opinion, between a business and a hobby is that hobbies cost you money, all right? Businesses make you money, all right? Does that make sense? So if I treat my business like a hobby, it's going to end up costing me more in the long run than what I'm bringing in. All right, I'm going to be spending more on ads because I'm not really paying attention to my ads. I'm going to be utilizing software and stuff that maybe I shouldn't, and I'm overspending. Maybe I'm using ClickFunnels, and I'm paying $297 a month for ClickFunnels, but I'm only making maybe $100 in on my business, so it's costing me money. Again, you're treating it more like a hobby than a business. How's it going, Francis? Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you being here. So businesses are what I teach, all right? How to build an online business. So all of these 18 skills are going to help you in building the lifestyle and the dream that you want, all right? And I'll tell you this right off the bat. When I was getting started in business, whether it was offline or online, back 20 years ago, when my son Josh is in the house. How's it going, Beth? I just saw you pop on. Thanks for being here. My son Josh was like 3 months old at the time when I got into business, and I had no choice, and I didn't have any of these skills, not a single one of these skills back when I first started, and it took me a while to build these skills because I didn't know the skills that I needed to build in the first place. All right. So that's the reason why I decided to come up with this list. And I came up with this list maybe about a month ago, but I wanted to present it to you today. I was, going to record an actual video and upload it, which I still might do. But I wanted to present it to you on this live stream because I think that these particular skills are an absolute necessity. So we will start here. First off, does anybody have anything, questions or anything that they want to get out of the way first before I get into these? I know that there's a little bit of a delay. Beth is saying karma cash flow all is great. That is awesome. I'm glad that that everything is phenomenal. For me today's a good day as well. And I've been doing this Lita challenge for the past 4 days, and today I actually feel that today is kind of an easy day for me. So the theme of the day for Lita, let me go into my email real quick so I can tell it to you. Where is it? So day 4 is about what is your hidden dream. All right, let me see if this will let me hide my face. Come on, hello. Nope, not doing it. So what is your hidden dream? All right, we all have dreams inside of us that we're afraid to speak out loud. This is your chance to take action. So we're supposed to speak about dreams and goals and stuff that we don't usually voice. All right, and I think most people have these types of dreams and aspirations that they don't voice. That they're afraid of being ridiculed or whatever. I'm not that way. All right, if I have a dream or a goal, every single person on the planet is gonna know about it. I tell everybody, whether that be something good or maybe detrimental. I tell everybody. If I have this idea or this big dream in my head, the first person I tell is my wife. And I voice it, I get her thoughts, and then I'll go to someone else and talk to them about it and get their thoughts. And I might even come on here on a live stream and be like, hey guys, I got this huge idea. What am I, to do about this? Blah, blah, blah. And I voice it constantly. So I think this day is actually, quite easy for me to do this Lita challenge because I'm constantly voicing my opinions, or not my opinions, my dreams, and I take action on my dreams. So that's a key factor, is being able to take action, massive action. Let me see. Peasant Uprising is saying, I am always curious about the part of someone's journey that they actually broke through and started to become successful with their entrepreneurship. You may already have a story, just haven't seen. Yeah, absolutely. What really broke me through, talking about online anyway, what really got me over the hump of being, not making any single dime in online. I can't speak today. In the online space was meeting, not formally meeting, but meeting online a person by the name of Frank Kern. So Frank Kern is the marketer of marketers. Almost everybody that you know of in marketing and advertising, Russell Brunson, Dean Graziosi, they learned from Frank Kern, right? And everybody learns from Frank. And actually, I think Russell Brunson actually worked for Frank. Russell Brunson created ClickFunnels and this whole funnel hacker thing, .com secrets, expert secrets. He wrote all these books. He got most of his, or not most of it, but a lot of his knowledge from Frank. And when I met Frank, before that, I was doing everything under the sun. I was following all these different people. Nothing was happening. And all of a sudden, I actually, at first, I had seen Frank a couple of years before. But he had long hair, and he was playing a guitar in a hippie van and surfing and all this stuff. And I was like, what is this guy going to teach me about money? Or making money online? And a couple years later, I see him online, and he has a haircut. He's well shaved and everything, and he was in a almost a suit. It was like a blazer and everything. Looked very professional. And I started to follow him, and then come to realize it was the same guy as a couple years before. And I kicked myself because I'm like, why didn't I follow him then? Yeah, so like that's kind of my story of how I went from not making a single dime to making money, is because I learned from Frank. And I made a commitment to myself. Whatever Frank says, whatever he tells me to do, that is exactly what I'm going to do. All right. And because I was like, he's number one in my book. And it didn't matter if he was number one in the world or anything like that, which he is. But he was number one in my eyes. He was the biggest person, the person that had the most success secrets, success stories at the time. And I was like, I have to follow this man. And so I swore to myself that if he said something, I was going to do it. I was going to take action, and I did it. And I started to make money. And it was actually quite quickly from the time I started to implement what he was saying. And, I only focused on him. I didn't focus on anybody else at that point. So I dropped off from listening to all these other people. And I was probably listening to a dozen people. And I just solely focused on him. And I was like, whatever he says, I'll do. And that's history. Josh says, I love Frank. He's a great guy. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. It's nice because Frank has become a really good friend of mine. And, it's nice to have friends like that, if I ever have an issue, I could text him, call him, email him, whatever. And he replies, or we talk, whatever. It's awesome. Real quick, before we get into the 18 skills all online entrepreneurs need, there is a question from Francis. Reply ConvertKit. Just imported my subscribers, 374. Awesome. Good job on 374 subscribers. For MailChimp and have a new email. Don't want to lose subs. What do I need to do to not have the first email sent go to junk? So you imported all of those new subscribers, and you have a new email address. So what I would do is I would go, do you still have your MailChimp account? Because what I would do is I would go into my MailChimp account with that old email address and, tell everybody, this is what I would do. I would have done. I would not have just imported everybody. I would make everybody resubscribe to me. All right. So, and it didn't matter if I lose people, because the people that are not going to subscribe to me, their chances are they're not going to read my emails anyway. So I would go back to MailChimp and I would say, hey, for everybody that's on this list, I am moving over here. Tell them exactly what you're doing and say, if you want to continue getting my emails, go to this landing page, and you can create the landing page or the form with ConvertKit itself, and have them resubscribe, and just have it as a single email. Opt in, no name, no phone number, nothing like that, just a simple email, because you can always add that data later. Once they re-sign up, you can just, go back, look at MailChimp and say, okay, well, this person signed up, and you know their name from over here, put them in over here. Or you don't even need to collect, a name. I would say a good 50 to maybe even higher, maybe 65% of the time, I don't collect names. I only collect email addresses, because in the scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. And half the time people put in false, data anyway. So they're going to, their name is John, and they're going to put in, that their name is Josh, whatever. So half the time it's not real. So just, import, get them to resubscribe to your newsletter or whatever it is, through MailChimp. And that's the way that I would have done that. I personally, I don't like importing subscribers unless it's like just a massive list, right? If you're someone like Frank Kern that has, hundreds of thousands of people on your list, then maybe you might want to do that, because at that point it doesn't really matter. But you have 374 subscribers, if you contact them and you have a good relationship built with them, you're going to have a good majority of them resubscribe, right? If you don't have a good relationship with them and only a few here and there subscribe, then essentially you're just starting over anyway, because you import their list and you start emailing them, whether it goes right into their main inbox or primary inbox in the first place. Chances are they're not going to read your stuff anyway. They're not connected with you. So does that make sense, Francis? Hope that makes sense. All right, so let's get into the 18 skills. All right, so the first skill, and I'm sure that you're aware of what this might be, is having a good, where is this? Why is it not popping up? It's having a good financial education, having financial intelligence. So I speak about this a lot in that we're running a business. And in order to run a business properly, you need to know how to manage money properly. All right. So this has to come into your business. This has to come into your personal life as well. If you are terrible with managing money in your personal life, you're going to be terrible with managing money in your business. And you need to have a strong financial education, a good relationship with money if you're ever, hope to have a good and solid standing business. So number one is having a good financial intelligence, and this includes of how to manage your money, how to budget, like all these different things of money. What is money? Most people don't even know what money is. So how can they have a good relationship with it? And actually, I spoke with someone a couple of months ago who had a terrible relationship with money and didn't know the first thing about it and was absolutely terrified of making money because they didn't know what to do with it once they had it. If you're the type of person that you get money and, you get your paycheck, whatever, and it goes all out the window, not all on expenses and liabilities like your rent or your power bill and stuff like that, not on your bills and stuff. But, I get my paycheck and I know that I'm going to have $600 left over, and I go buy that brand new TV that Walmart had on sale that, is $4.99. Like, if you're doing that, then you don't have a good relationship with money. You don't know what you're doing with money, right? If you have lots of money, in the bank, and you have all these assets and everything bringing you in cash flow, and you want to go buy that TV, cool, do that. But if you don't have all of that stuff pre-existing built, then there's absolutely no point. You need to have a good financial education. You need to know what an asset is. You need to know how to build assets in order to provide you with positive cash flow, lower your liabilities, lower your expenses, and consistently increase your income by building assets. So if you don't have all that stuff down, then there's absolutely no point in building a business, because you're going to run aground. All right. It's going to happen. It's going to come to a point where your business is starting to make money. And let's say you make $2,000 this month and you're so happy. You go out, you have, a date with your wife or your husband or spouse, partner, whatever. You have some drinks, and then you're like, you know what? I deserve a little vacation. So you go on vacation, and soon enough, that $2,000 that you brought in went right back out, and now you're back to square one, right? So having a solid financial education and having that financial intelligence is what you absolutely have to have before anything else. That's why it's number one on my list before anything else. All right, before anything else. So does that make sense? Let me know in the chat if that makes sense. Number one, to have a strong financial education. Beth says 100% agree. Awesome. Francis is saying, I had a student share with me. They put their name in as Your Royal Highness. So at one point, I used to fill my name as Sweet Wonderful Lady for a little ego boost. That is awesome. Yeah, Josh is saying, where did it go? Josh is saying that's what happens to a lot of lotto winners. Absolutely. I actually read this article about a guy in, I think it was Oklahoma, who got like $300 million, right? And that was like take home. That's what he actually got after taxes and everything like that, was like $300 million in the lottery. And I think it was like 36 months or 32 months or something like that, like 30 some odd months later, he was broke. And actually he was in debt because he had no idea what to do with his money. All right. And you see this with poker players. You see this with, trust fund kids and people where their parents give them money and all that stuff. They have no idea what to do with the money. So they end up spending it and never, able to recoup that money, and they lose it all. All right. They're buying all these lavish gifts or doing this and that with it. You can't be doing that. All right. You have to build a solid foundation first. So give you an idea. Let's say I want a new Jeep. All right. Most people, all right, I'm going to say the majority of people will do one of two things. All right. They will, one, go out and lease the vehicle. All right. Or they'll buy it and take out a loan, that maybe they'll put $2,000, $3,000 down, and they have like a $500 a month payment, which is a liability on that Jeep. Maybe it's $300, if it's a lease or something like that, whatever. They'll do that. Or they'll go out and buy, a used Jeep for, maybe $3,000 or $4,000, and that be that. All right. So there's a couple of different people. For me, I think about it like this. Let's say I want a $50,000 Jeep. All right. In my head, the first thing that happens is not, I want to go to a dealership and go buy that Jeep. All right. And I'll just put $3,000 down, I'll lease it out. But no, my first thought is, what assets do I need to build in order to get that $50,000 so that at that point I can go get that Jeep? That's what goes on in my head. All right. And that's what needs to go on in your head as well. And you need to think like that. You need to have that good, strong financial education. But yeah, just like Josh said, lotto winners and poker players, they just lose their money left and right because they have no idea what to do with it. Francis says, yeah, you always hear the same story. You absolutely do. I hear it all the time. All right, so let's move on to number 2. So number 2 is something that most of us do not like. All right. It's a skill that we almost shy away from. All right. Can you figure out what it is? Put in the chat what you think the second skill that I have on here is going to be. Something that you don't generally like, right? Most people, they're like, no, they try and shy away from, learning this type of skill. What do you think it is? Give me a little heads up in the chat if you think you know, while I take my sip of coffee. Today, this cup of coffee is brought to you by my in-laws that are in Michigan. They have a plumbing business, and they sent me this cup. It's pretty awesome. So the first person that got it right, here in a second, let it come up. Yeah, the first person that got it right is Malini. So absolutely, the second skill that you absolutely have to have is sales. All right, how many of us hate sales? All right, if they say you have to sell this course, whatever, you kind of cringe. You're like, oh, I don't want to sell anything. All right, and the idea become, the reason that most people don't like sales is because they have this idea of the kind of the cringy car salesman, right? It's someone that's sleazy and manipulative that is trying to just force a sale down your throat. In my head, I think of people like Grant Cardone, right? You look at Grant Cardone and how he sells, and I've got nothing against Grant, all right? Let me just say that. But if you look at how he presents his sales message, it's very forceful. It's very sharp and edgy, and it's hard. It's a hard sales pitch. And we as marketers and people in general don't like that. We have a massive aversion to that. We all like to buy, but we never like to be sold to, right? So, but that's not what sales is, All right, I'm here to tell you that is not what sales is. Sales is just simply a conveyance of an emotion. All right, it's something that you're passionate about, that you want to convey to someone else. All right, and I'll give you an example here. Imagine that you're sitting around with a bunch of friends, and your friends they all went to see this one movie. Let's say it was Terminator 3, whatever. Um, and they're talking about it, and you saw a commercial and you're not really interested, but they're like, "Oh my god, dude, it's so awesome. Arnold comes in and he's, blowing this thing up and this and that, and he's chasing this one and they make this sound so amazing, and you're like so interested. You're like, "Wow, that actually sounds good." And what happens? You go and you end up watching the movie, right? You go to see the movie. That was a sales pitch, all right? That is sales. It's just that kind of conveyance of passion, of emotion. And you are selling all the time, no matter what. If you are, like, for me, if I'm with my wife and let's say I want Indian food, whatever, and I'm talking to her about I want to go to an Indian restaurant, right? And we're talking about it, I'm essentially selling, right? Whether I win or lose, false, whatever, it's not really a win or lose thing. But whatever that case is, I'm selling, right? If I just meet I have a brand new girlfriend or whatever, and I'm trying to woo them, that's essentially sales, all right? That's all sales is, all right? Sales should not be pushy. It is not the Grant Cardone type methodology of just shoving something down someone's throat for the sake of getting a paycheck, right? But there are certain ways that certain skills that you need in sales, and sales has a whole set of skills all its own. But you need to learn so that you can convey what you need to convey better. So essentially, you can consider sales as communication. All right, that's what it is. It's communication. I'm just conveying something to you in a way that gets you interested. All right, but it's not manipulative. All right, I'm not trying to manipulate you into doing something. All right, I'm just trying to get you to kind of see my point of view. Does that make sense? Yeah, Jamie is selling. Jamie, by the way, thank you for being here. Says you're selling every day, even when you try to convince your kids to do something. Absolutely, and aren't we always trying to convince our kids to do something? Or our kids, our kids are the best salespeople, right? They're always trying to get us to do stuff, or can I have that candy bar, or can I have waffles, or whatever. All right, I'm thinking of food a lot because I'm starving, and and I always think of my daughter because my daughter is a foodie. She loves food, and she's like that's her driving motivation for things. So like she's always talking to me about it. But kids are just insane salespeople. What is up, Xenia? Thank you for being here. Says sorry for being late. I had a call. Love you, bro. Love you too, man. Thank you for being here, no matter if you were late or not. We're just going through the 18 skills all online entrepreneurs need, or just really entrepreneurs need, period. And the first one was financial intelligence. Number 2 is sales skills. All right. So number 3 is marketing and branding. All right. Marketing and branding skills are essentially, what I teach. I don't teach a lot of actual sales skills. We might get into communication and storytelling and so forth, but not necessarily sales type skills. But marketing is essentially sales in written form, in video form, whatever. And it's, again, just trying to convey to someone something that they might need. All right. So if I'm, pushing you to, if I'm recommending a product to you, let's say you're a doctor and I know about this software that is, could revolutionize your practice, and I'm driving, traffic to you and getting you interested in that particular software through emails and everything. That's essentially marketing. Branding is what comes before your marketing. All right. Branding is something like this YouTube channel. All right. I'm branding myself, Karma Cash Flow, as a person, your number one trusted advisor on everything passive income wise, cash flow wise. All right. I'm branding myself. So branding is how people see you before they ever see your marketing message. Does that make sense? So that's number 3. Number 4 is one of my favorites. All right. Number 4 is paid advertising. This is something that I love to talk about. I used to own, and kind of technically still do own, a advertising agency, but for the most part, we got rid of most of our clients and just have a couple clients left. But paid advertising is what I primarily utilize in most of my businesses. All right. So it doesn't matter what business it is, paid advertising can help. But paid advertising has to be done correctly. All right. I see too many people, they put in ads over on Facebook because everybody tells them Facebook is amazing. You can detail target people, and you can do this and you can do that. You make, 100x, ROAS, which is return on ad spend, on every single thing. That's not true, right? Like anything, you can screw up, and advertising is no different, and especially with online advertising, Facebook ads. So there was a time, and actually here recently, I had been putting out ads for one of my companies that just wasn't working. No matter what I was doing, it wasn't working. But I have the skills down that I know how to adjust things. I know how to tweak and change things so that I start getting results, right? And if you don't have those skills and knowledge of how to properly lay out an ad, right? What type of ad do we put out? Is it just, you put an ad, hey, I have this new course, go buy it, right? Is that the type of ad that you're going to put out? And you'd be surprised. I have seen really idiotic ads out there, really, really dumb ads. And I don't know how they work or if they work, but for me, it doesn't seem like they would. But you need to know a proper structure for your ad framework, right? You need to know what to say, how to say it. You need to know who you're targeting, all right? And this is actually something that we're going to be going through in the final week of LIDA, live every day in August. So, I think it's like the 22nd, 23rd, that we're going to be going through how to properly understand your audience and how to research your audience. And if you don't know who you're targeting, you're never, ever, ever gonna make it in paid advertising, right? Because you don't know who you're targeting. And there's a couple things that go into it: your offer or your message, who you're targeting, and can you get them to click that link? Because that's essentially what an ad is I want to say something to someone in order to get them to take an action, generally to click a link to go to my website or whatever. And you need to have those skills, all right? And you need to have the skills in paid advertising to know when to kill an ad, when to scale an ad, when to adjust an ad. So maybe, this picture is not working. Well, how and when do we decide to change that creative, to change that picture? Maybe I want to throw a video in there. Well, do I do one campaign, one ad set, or do I do a whole bunch of campaigns and ad sets? How much money do I put into my ads? How do I know when and how to scale those ads? Like all of this stuff you need to know. And like I said, paid advertising is number one in my book, because think about it like this, right? In real estate, if you do real estate, your general average annual return is 12 to 15%. All right. That is doing good. All right. Warren Buffett, on average, greatest investor in the world ever, makes an average of about 12% per year. All right. But with advertising, all right, I have seen, 6,000% in a single month. In a single month, 6,000% return on my money in a single month, 30 days. All right. Let alone 12% in, a year. All right. If I made less than 100% on my return, like I would go nuts. All right. but like everything's going wrong. I need to fix this. I need to fix that. And you need to have those skills. You need to have the skills of paid advertising. That Josh says, I'm with you on that. Yeah. Let's see. I'm just going through here, seeing. Friends just saying, "Oh my God, so many good questions." Let's see. Yeah, not seeing anything else. All right, so we'll move on. So number 4 was paid advertising. Number 5 is copywriting. All right, I'm huge on copywriting, and I know that Xenia had asked me in my community over on the Cashflow Army community about doing something on copywriting. And I promise you, Xenia, I am doing, I'm going to do a day here, maybe even a couple of days on copywriting. So I've already gone, I think, in one of my videos or one of my live streams through a couple of little frameworks that I utilize. I have not talked about like my email framework, which I call GROD. For those that don't know, I am a huge, my son is in here, he can tell you, I am a ridiculously huge fan of The Flash, DC Comics The Flash. I love the comics. I love the TV show. Anything to do with the Flash. I literally have a Flash onesie that my wife bought me in my closet because I'm addicted to the Flash. And so I created this framework, which is called GROD. And GROD, GRODD, is a character, a villain in the Flash. It worked out that way. So that's what I named it. And I'm actually going to be covering it over on these live streams so that you have the exact frameworks for how to build an email. And that's something that most of us don't have, right? Are these frameworks. But copywriting, for me anyway, copywriting is nothing more than putting words on paper or on the screen, right, in order to get someone to take an action, right? That's what copywriting is. It's words that get people to take a certain action, whatever it is that you want them to take. Click on a button, purchase a course, whatever it is. That's essentially what copywriting is. So if you look at a newspaper and there's an ad in there, the words that are written in that ad, that's copy, right? It may be good copy, it may be bad copy, but it's copywriting nonetheless. And there is a certain way to do copywriting. I've learned many different ways to do copywriting. I've learned from Clayton Makepeace. I've learned from Frank Kern. I've learned from Gary Halbert, Gary Bentavanga, Anik Singal, and so forth. I've learned from all these different people. Ray Edwards as well. I know Ray Edwards I think he watches some of my videos. My son is saying, "Oh yes, you are," referring to the Flash. I am addicted to the Flash. But all these guys are really good copywriters, and so they have taught how to do copywriting. And so I've done my best to learn everything I possibly can about copywriting because I would say probably besides financial education, having your financial intelligence. Copywriting might be the number 2 skill. Maybe I should move that up to number 2. But needless to say, you have to learn copywriting. So every single time that you can purchase a new copywriting book, get it. Go on to Gary Halbert newsletter.com and study Gary's newsletters because they are great resources and they're free. But you need to learn it. And for me, copywriting is all about the framework, all right? I have a particular framework to do my ads. I have a particular framework to do my sales page. I have a particular framework to do my emails and just about everything else. If I have to write anything, I have a framework for it because that's what I need, right? I'm not the type of person, maybe Clayton Makepeace, who actually just recently passed away, he could just sit down and write and come out with the most amazing sales letter ever. Or Gary Halbert or Gary Bentavanga could do something like that. I can't, all right? The first thing I need is a big idea, all right? What is it I'm really trying to convey here? And then I utilize my framework. Okay, so I start with the headline, and I work that headline out, and I have multiple frameworks for headlines. How to yay without boo. How to make $2 million in 30 days without scamming people, right? Something like that. That's a particular type of framework. Or I, after that, then I move on to the sub headline. Then I move on to this part and then this part. And it's literally broken down step by step. And I'm actually going to cover that here on the live stream. Let me find out when I'm going to cover that, because I know some of you are actually really interested in that, like Xenia. It is actually going to be on the 16th. All right. So on August 16th, I will be covering that. And it is going to be awesome. Where is my, there it is. I'm just shuffling stuff around here. All right. So copywriting, again, is something that you really want to have, in your skill toolbox. It's amazing. Think about it like this. If you could write a single sales letter, just a single sales letter, right? It may be, if we're talking about on screen, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 words. If it's in print, let's say 10 pages long, a single sales page. And you put that sales page out. You drive traffic to it, whatever. Whether it be driving traffic through paid advertising, which we just talked about, or through some organic method, or just simply sending a single email out. And all of a sudden you have 1,000 people purchase whatever that was. Could that skill change your life? In my opinion, absolutely it could. Right? If I could literally just create one sales page and make $1 million from that sales page in 24 hours, like loads of people have already done in the past. I've never done $1 million in 24 hours with a sales page, but I know tons of people that have. Isn't that a skill worth having? I know people that have written a sales letter for a company, and that company has made more than $1 billion with a B. $1 billion in 24 hours, all because of that one sales letter, right? Lots of copywriters out there. Most copywriters don't make a ton of money, but the average copywriter makes about $80,000 to $100,000 a year. Good copywriters could make that a month or even more. So it's a great skill to have. I tried teaching my kids about copywriting. A lot of times they don't want to learn it, but I'm just going to push anyway, because I think it's an essential skill that they absolutely need to know. All right, so let's move on. I know that we're kind of far behind. We only supposed to have like 15 minutes left. So number 6 is time management. All right, can you be productive? Can you control your time well enough so that if you have a ton of stuff to do, that you are able to get it done in an orderly fashion and in a timely manner, all right? I use things like time blocking and day theming in order to get my work done, all right? I have a lot to do. I have multiple businesses to run. And so I absolutely have to have a way for me in order to manage my time efficiently so that I can get everything that I need to get done. All right, so time blocking is one of the things that I utilize. So I break my days down into blocks of time. So maybe the first 3 hours of my day, let's say from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock normally. Granted, Lita's going on right now, so my time blocking has shifted. But normally, let's say 6 to 9 is my creative time. So this is a time that I'm creating emails, that I am, outlining courses, whatever. Right, that's my creative time. And then between 9:30 and 10:30. Maybe I do copywriting, and then between 10:30 and noon, I do networking, whatever. All right. So I'm breaking everything down into blocks of time, and I stick with that. All right. So if on Monday I look at my schedule, and I live by my schedule, if I look at my schedule and it says, all right, it's 9 o'clock, this is what you're supposed to be working on, that's what I do. All right. And I plan everything out. And then I also have day themes. So, Monday is my writing day. Right. So all of my time blocking is going to revolve around writing, whether it's writing for my copy, for a sales page, or writing an email, or writing a script for a YouTube channel, whatever the case is. that is the entire day is themed around writing. Maybe day 2 is about recording videos. So on Tuesday, I record, every video that I need for whatever purpose. All right, whether it's an ad, whether it's for a simple email, whether it's for a multi-page pre-sale site, whatever that case is. That's my video day. That's what I'm going to record. Then maybe Wednesday is editing all of that video and doing some other stuff. All right, so I have themes for every day, and then I time block out through that day, coinciding with that day's theme. So does that make sense? So the point of all this is saying that you need to learn how to manage your time and be productive. All right. And these are skills that you need to acquire. This is not something that just comes natural to most people. This is something that it is a skill that you have to learn. All right. Does that make sense, guys? I hope all this is valuable to you. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. If I provided any amount of value to you, let me know in the chat what you think so far. Jamie is saying day themes, interesting, assigning days. Got to try it. Definitely got to try it. Day theming is, when I came across time blocking and day theming, it literally changed my world. I felt before that I was going insane. I was trying to get all this stuff done, but nothing was really working out for me. I'd skip some things here and there, or, oh man, this was supposed to be over here. Like I was going crazy. And then I don't remember who told me about time blocking in the first place, but I heard about it and I researched it, and so I started to use it. And then it was just a couple of days later that I found out about day theming on top of it, and I was like, oh, my world is complete because I was able to control everything and use my time wisely and properly so I could get everything done. Now I don't seem to have an issue getting things done. Once in a while, sure, some things come up. Maybe, that morning my wife wants to go to the pool, and instead of spending an hour in the pool, we spent like 6 hours in the pool, like the other day, right? Things happen and you have to adjust. But generally speaking, I am religious about my calendar, and I block everything out. My entire day, even when I eat. If I can pull it up here, I might have something here in my inbox. Okay, so I even get notifications. I don't know if you can see this. Hello, are you going to adjust your... There we go. All right, I even get like emails and notifications on when I need to do something. Right, I'm that crazy about my day. Is that that was an email for my wake up ritual, right? And between 6 and 6:45 today, I have certain things that I have to do, and so I have an email get sent to me, waking me up, so that I know exactly what needs to be done, and I just follow it, and it makes sense for me. So you don't have to be that crazy and that anal, but I am. But you need to use your time wisely. All right. Let's go to number 7. Number 7 is critical thinking. All right. Being able to put things in logical order and have that kind of strategic thinking to be able to solve problems. So this is something that I don't care what you do. I do not care what you do as far as a business goes or as far as your personal life goes. You need to be able to think logically about things. You can't always be emotional about everything. And I know that for some people, this is actually quite hard to think logically, especially if you get emotional. But you have to be able to critically think and put things in certain orders in order to get things done. And in business, this is essential, right? So for those people that are just starting off with their business, how do you know what you need to do first? It's a simple question. How do you know what needs to be done first? Do you create the landing page first, or do you create an email list first, right? With some emails, a basic email sequence. How do you know which one to do first? How do you know? Do you build a website, or do you start putting videos out on YouTube or episodes on a podcast first? Right? All of these things are things that I have to think about, and I have to put in a certain order and logically think about and strategically which goes where. What piece of of the puzzle do I need to work on first? And these are things that you absolutely have to do, and these are skills that you can pick up, whether it be through just sheer out experience or learning. So there's a couple of YouTube channels that I go on to that I can't think of the names or channels right now, but there's I know two of them that I watch all the time, and it's about critical and strategic thinking. So most of the time, I don't watch videos on marketing and advertising, stuff like that. That's stuff I know. I watch stuff on how to tell a better story, how to think critically. I might look at what's going on in the world as far as business goes. What companies are going down, or like TikTok, with the president saying that TikTok is looking to be banned, stuff like that, right? And critical thinking is something that I still like to learn about and develop my skills and sharpen my skills. So I'm constantly watching videos on it. But it's a skill that you need to have. Number 8 is communication and storytelling. All right. Let me tell you that years ago, this is probably more than 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I didn't really tell stories in my emails, in my sales pages, or anything. On my videos, it just wasn't that. It was just all facts, because that's how I am, right? I am a fact person. Give me numbers, give me data, and I can work with that, all right? But not everybody's like me. In fact, most people are not like me, all right? And so I once told, it was in a video, I told a story about how I, got into business and everything, and it went nuts. Like, people were so amazed at my story, and I was like, you know what? There's something here. And so I started to study storytelling, and StoryBrand is a really good framework. Who's StoryBrand? StoryBrand. There's a book called StoryBrand, or Clarifying Your Message, by Donald Miller. And you can get the book, Building a StoryBrand, which is amazing. And the course, StoryBrand course, is epic, right? And it talks about how to communicate and tell stories, because that's what people remember. People don't remember data and facts, all right? Maybe I do, but most people don't. But they remember stories. That's how information has been passed down for generations and generations, is through stories. And people love stories. You think about people, the whole Netflix and chill. Why do they do that? Why do they go into Netflix in order to watch a story? Right? That's essentially it. Is they want to be entertained. They want to listen to the story, and stories sell. So when I changed my frameworks to include story, everything that I do now includes some sort of story. That's because it connects with people, right? I'm a better communicator if I'm able to tell a story that relays a certain message or whatever I want to relay. All right. So storytelling and communicating is big. I think that you can never study communication and storytelling enough. All right. I've been through courses from Pixar. Khan Academy actually has, I think it's called Pixar in a Box. And the course, it's a free course. It's on storytelling. And I think that everybody should look it up. Go to, you can just Google Pixar in a Box Khan Academy or something like that. And it should come up. And it is a good framework for how Pixar tells stories. And I actually made my daughter go through it, who's 9 years old. And I saw her stories go from, a 2-year-old type mentality to, like, I'm like, damn, that could be a book. Like, literally, it was like overnight. She just became this terrific storyteller. And I was like, man, you need to write some kids' books. And so we have her write all the time in order for her to do that, so that we can see her stories and maybe even put it into a book. That is number 8. Let me see Yeah. My wife is saying that I'm really good at random facts too. Yes, I'm really good. I know so many random facts. It's insane. Um, she's also saying productivity on point. Yep, you have to be productive. Just scrolling through here. Hey, Archer. Thanks for being here, man. I just saw that you were in the chat. Where this didn't pop up in my subscription newsfeed, I had to come to the channel directly. Well, thank you anyway for being here, man. I appreciate it. I am humbled that everybody's here. So,
Bruh.
yes, I have that. All right, so where was I? Let me go back to here. All right, so number 9 is networking. All right, this is something that I believe everybody needs to know how to do. While I consider myself an introvert, I am not an extrovert in any sense of the word. I would rather kind of sit here in my bubble behind my computer than go to a networking meeting. But you need to learn and know how to network, how to make friends, how to when you come into a room and you start talking to someone, that people listen. All right, and this also goes back to storytelling, but you need to know how to make those connections, because it's not you can't live in a bubble your entire life. Your business has to be able to grow, and the way for it to grow is for you to know people, right? For you to connect with people. And I have met, just since the time that Pat Flynn started to do his the income stream, his live stream, I've met a lot of people that I've networked with that have literally shifted how I do my business, and for the better. And that's what you really need to do, is you need to learn how to network with people, because who knows, who that can make things happen for you and open doors. So I think it's a strong thing you really need to learn how to do. Number 10 is about the ability to identify strengths and weaknesses, not just in yourself, but in others as well. So I always try to identify my own personal strengths and weaknesses. I literally have spreadsheets. Not joking you, my wife can testify to it. I have spreadsheets of things that I'm good at, things that I'm not good at. And I separate everything so that I know, okay, these are the things that I'm not good at. I can either work on these, or I can get someone to take over for them, all right, to take these over. You also have to be able to identify strengths and weaknesses in other people. Give you an example. I recognize one person with having a good kind of strength to learn the ability to do video editing. And I saw them edit a couple of videos. I was like, wow, they've actually done a good job right from the start. And then it seemed like every single video that I saw them edit was like 10x better. I was like, wow, this person's really good. And I was able to identify that strength, right? But I also know their weaknesses as well. And you have to be able to identify these in other people, so that when you go and eventually start hiring people, that you're able to recognize these strengths and weaknesses in them, and work around their weaknesses, so that you can build them up, but at the same time, get them to hone in on their strengths as well, do what they're really good at, but you have to do it in yourself as well, right? So if you have every skill on this list, right, but you're terrible at copywriting, you have to be able to realize that you're terrible at copywriting. I see a lot of copywriters, legitimate copywriters, that is their job, are absolutely, utterly terrible at copywriting, but yet that's their job. And they can't realize, they can't see themselves as being bad at it, all right? So you have to be able to really identify your true strengths and your true weaknesses. And if you have weaknesses, either build them up or hand them over, give them to someone else. Number 11 is talent sourcing. All right. This is essentially being able to hire the right type of people to do the right job. All right. If I want to, like right now, I'm kind of looking around for a good video editor for myself and for one of my other companies. And while there's a lot of good people out there, right, I need to hire the right person, right, for the job that I need done. And I'm just giving one example, right? It could be anything. Maybe I need a copywriter, and I need to be able to hire the right type of copywriter for my business. I can't just go out there, hire one person, and that's it, right? I have to source the right person for the job, and you have to be able to recruit that person. And that is a skill. That is a skill that you need. Number 12 is management skills. And this goes along with the talent sourcing, in that you have to be able to manage the people that are under you. All right. We have a video editor for one of my businesses. All right. Not the Karma Cashflow business, but for one of my other businesses, we have a video editor. And I have to work with them in order to get what I need done. Right. And this comes down to management. You have to be able to give them some leeway, some room to breathe, for them to make their own decisions. But at the same time, I need to be able to manage them to make sure that they stay on task, that the things get done when they need to get done. If I need something changed, I have to be able to communicate properly in order not to offend that person, or whatever. You have to be able to manage them in all aspects. So does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense. Let's see. Deb says, I am a huge fan of networking. I'm sure you are, Deb. I'm sure you are. I'm not. I'm good at networking. I just, because I'm an introvert, it's not my favorite thing to do. Xenia saying, I imagine it's incredibly hard to find a person that fits. Yeah, it is. And, there's a lot of things to consider when hiring someone, and then managing that person. One of the things, like my partner in one of my companies, we were hiring a video editor. And at first it was like, yeah, we don't care where they are, as long as they're good and everything. But then it came down to, they want someone, my partner wants someone in town. And, it's like, now we have to adjust and everything. So yeah, it's about finding that right person for what you're looking for. If you want them to be in town because you want to meet them face to face, weekly, whatever, then that's what you need to look for. So yeah. Then he says, I thought about finding a person for our business one day, and I was going crazy only thinking about it. Yeah, you can. You can go crazy. I go crazy every day. All right, so that was number 12, is management skills. Let me say this real quick about number 13, is that number 13 is not for everybody. It does not apply to everybody, but I think it is such an incredible skill to have, right? And the skill is raising capital, all right? Raising capital is essentially acquiring money from other people in order to build your business or to do whatever you're going to do. Give you an example. I had an apartment community that I was looking at. It was like 300 plus units, and it was in Ocala, Florida. And I didn't have all the capital myself. I didn't have all the money in order to purchase that property. So instead, I went out to other people that I knew to raise money, right? And, for that property is like $1.9 million needed to be raised. And if you have the ability to raise capital for projects and for your business and so forth, you almost will always have money. You'll never really have a problem getting money for anything. All right. And it is an essential skill. There's a lot of little details that go into it, a lot of little sub skills, but it is, in my opinion, just a tremendous skill to have. You may not want to build your business utilizing other people's capital, and that's fine. I completely get that. I have done both. I have had businesses where I've acquired capital, and I've had businesses that I didn't require any capital from others. Both work well, but I do think that it is a skill that you should have. Number 14 is failure management. How do you manage yourself and others should something fail? All right. I'm going to go to highly say that a good 50%, if not a little bit more, of all the businesses that I've ever created have failed. Just being honest. All right. I want to be open about this. In that half of the businesses that I've created have failed. How do I manage that? What do I do? There are times where, I need to understand when I need to cut my losses. All right. This business is failing. It is hemorrhaging money. And I need to know where to draw that line in order to cease that bleeding. All right. And then once it's all said and done, then there's this huge emotional impact, right? Emotional and psychological impact while this is happening and after the event as well. How are you going to manage all that? All right. Are you going to rely on your wife or your husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, whatever? All right. How do you do that? These are skills, and I'll be honest with you, I'm still learning about failure management, how to manage failure, even though I have failed countless times, right? I've probably had, I couldn't even tell you honestly, 50 businesses legitimately, in the past 20 years. Now I have like 4, right? Mostly because they failed, right? For one reason or another. And some of them, a lot of them I quit purposely, but a lot of them failed. How do we manage that failure? That's number 14. Number 15 is stress management. Kind of goes along with failure management. We have a lot of stress in our lives. All right. In business is stressful. If you don't know how to deal with that stress, you're going to fail. You're going to have to implement failure management. But whether it be taking short walks. I know Just Sampson likes to go hiking. That is a good stress reducer. Meditation, breathing exercises, hanging out with friends and family, whatever the case is. You need to know how you can manage your stress to lower your stress as much as possible, because it is something that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like, for the most part, almost every day I'm fine. I don't generally have a problem with stress, but then stress creeps up, and it creeps up in the oddest of times. I might just be writing an email, and all of a sudden I am just aggravated. How do I deal with that aggravation and stress? Definitely need to know about that. Number 16 is decision making. You need to know how to make a decision. You need to know how to say no, right? As well. So in business, we have a gajillion decisions to make every single day. All right. No matter if you're developing a course, doing affiliate marketing, a membership, selling t-shirts on Redbubble or Teespring, whatever the case is, we have a million decisions to make. We need to know how to make those decisions. And it kind of comes back to critical and strategic thinking as well. But you need to be able to make a decision. You can't be somewhere in limbo with 3 or 4 different options and not being able to make a decision on which one to pick. All right. You not picking something is a decision. All right. And often than not, it is a bad decision. So you need to be able to make a decision. You also need to be able to say no. If I'm working on something very specific and my family comes up, hey, we want to go to the lake, let's go jet skiing on the lake, whatever the case is. Because I'm working on something, I have to say no at certain times. And I do say no at certain times. Half the time, no, because that's what I want and, whatever. But you have to have the ability in order to say no and to make those executive decisions. I don't like the term executive decision, but you get my point. Number 17 is customer service. All right. This is a skill all its own. And, I've seen so many marketers and so many business people not have the shred of an idea of what customer service is. They are rude. They are obnoxious. And it's really disappointing. All right. You have to treat your customers like clients, right? You have to have their best interests at heart, not your own. And, if I have someone, let's say I sell someone a course, one of my courses, and, I have a 30-day money back guarantee, and it's like 3 months later, right? But they truly feel that they are not getting value from my course even 3 months later, even though I only have 30-day cancellation and refund policy, I'm still going to refund them. All right. That's customer service. All right. It's thinking about them more than myself. I don't need that money. Even if I did need that money, so what? Give it back. Treat your customer like they're your family. All right. That's customer service. And all the best people, all the most successful people have really good customer service skills. Every single one of them. Number 18, one of my favorites is analytical skills. All right. You have to be able to look at data in a business. All right. Whether it's a YouTube channel, you are trying to grow your YouTube channel like I'm doing here. I have to be able to look at that data, see what's working, and then start doing more of that. All right. If I'm doing paid advertising, all right, I have to be able to look at my data and to know what is working, what is not, and make those decisions on scaling, killing an ad, whatever. And there's so many different types of analytical skills and so many different platforms that we have to look at. Google Analytics, Facebook, our own website, like all these different things. You need to have those skills. And, so many people, I know a couple of YouTubers, actually one's here in town. One of my friends here in town has a YouTube channel of probably maybe 35,000 subscribers. And when he goes into his dashboard, his YouTube dashboard, to look at the analytics, he has no idea what he's looking at. No idea. All he knows is that his watch time is up. That's all he really cares about. But he doesn't know how to read the analytics in order to make the decision. Okay, well, what videos am I doing that are working and what is not working, right? He doesn't have that skill. And you need to have those skills. You need to be able to look and make most of your decisions, not all, but most of your decisions based on numbers. All right. I am a numbers driven person. And all of my businesses are run by the numbers. And because of that, a lot of the times they're successful. All right. Even Karma Cash Flow, which I don't even have a course or a membership or a product or anything to sell you. I'm still profitable. Right. I've been doing affiliate marketing and everything. I see what works. I look at the analytics and I start maybe pushing more, of that. But I'm looking at the numbers. I see what's going on. And even a business that doesn't even have its own product or service to sell you, I'm still profitable. All because I look at numbers. All right. And if you want to grow your business, if you want to have a successful business, then you need to have those analytical skills. So that is the 18 skills that you need as an entrepreneur. So let me really quick run down them again. Number 1, financial intelligence. Number 2, sales skills, which I know we all hate. Number 3, marketing and branding. Number 4, paid advertising. Number 5, copywriting. Number 6, time management and productivity. And I was going to talk a little bit about delegation and automation as well, but I feel I'm going to reserve that for another day. Number 7, critical and strategic thinking. Number 8, communication and storytelling. Number 9, networking and relationship building. Number 10, the ability to identify strengths and weaknesses in yourself and others. Number 11, hiring and talent sourcing. Number 12, management skills. Number 13, raising capital. Again, that does not apply to everybody, but I think it is a skill that you should learn. Number 14, failure management. Number 15, stress management. Number 16, decision making and the ability to say no. Where was I? Decision making. Number 17, customer service. And number 18, analytical skills. So that is the 18 skills that you need as an entrepreneur. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat with question all in capital letters first so that I can identify the questions. So yeah, let's see. No decision is a decision, Jamie says. Absolutely. It absolutely is. And it's, again, one of the worst decisions that you can make. Xenia Vlada is saying customer service with a heart. Yep. Gotta have customer service. Xenia's also asking, dude, did you see the spike of your YouTube channel since going live? I did. I love doing these lives. I really do. I'm always nervous before I go live, but once I go live, I calm down, I settle down, and it's it's nice. It really is nice. I love being here with you guys, answering your questions, giving you as much information and value as I can. Um, and yeah, I have seen that it's been reciprocal. So a lot of people are enjoying these live streams. So it's great. As long as people enjoy it, I might keep doing it. After Lita, after August. I know that there is a couple of days in September that I won't be able to, but outside of that, I think that I might continue doing these live streams. Would you all like me to continue doing live streams here on my YouTube channel? Just let me know. Let me know if it is something that you want me to continue doing. Um, I'm writing those steps to work on it. Good, good. Definitely do that. Appreciate you being here, by the way. Yeah, write all these down. It is, again, they are essential. Maybe I will post these in my Karma Cashflow group. So if you don't know about my Cashflow group, the Cashflow Army, I highly recommend you join. Just go to thecashflowarmy.com, and that will point you to my community. And I will post all of these skills in there, and that way you can have a copy of it. And I post all the time in there anyway. If you want to get a hold of me, that's where you'll find me. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Right now, what I highly recommend you do is go to patflynn.com/the income stream. Pat Flynn has been going live for nearly 140 days. And he just brings, insane amounts of value. He's such an awesome guy. And I highly, highly, highly recommend going to check him out. If you don't know who he is yet, go check out Pat. And yeah, so we will see you guys tomorrow, actually. That's right. We are going live here every single day this month. And we'll go live 9:30 Eastern Standard Time or 6:30 Pacific U.S. time. And we will see you then, guys. So take care. Bye.